So there have been a ton of NBA news and NBA rumors going around right now about potential trades and players, of course, being moved again. God bless any NBA player right now who has unfortunately been linked to the Detroit Pistons. Again, I've never disliked the Pistons, but holy shit. They've lost 26 games in a row at the time making this video, and it will probably be 32 in a row when this vid comes out. I low-key hope they have a win by the time this video comes out, because goddamn, they're struggling. They're struggling more than me after watching a Ballad Angel video. Alright, Jesus Christ, we're getting off topic with this anyway. There have been theories and speculations going around, especially with those teams who haven't maybe had the start or the season that a lot of people have been thinking they probably should have. The Golden State Warriors are in that boat for a lot of NBA fans who maybe haven't had the season they were expecting. Again, I'm a massive fan of Chris Paul. I didn't necessarily like that trade, but I'm not here to shit on it because I don't think that's the root of their problems. Draymond Green has had a stinker year. I mean, it's just been flat out stinker. He's played terrible. He's been suspended 18 times, and I was a big Draymond Green fan. I don't necessarily know if I am anymore because I don't entirely love players who are going around Batista bombing other NBA players left, right, and center.
Wait till you see the...
But whatever, right? And then, of course, Andrew Wiggins just has been flat out terrible for the Golden State Warriors this year. There have been reports that he deliberately showed up to training camp unfit. Again, he didn't play, I believe, the second half of last season due to some personal issues. Again, you know, you can't really control that, but then he came into this season not being fit. A lot of issues have emerged, and not only has his scoring been down quite a bit and his field goal percentage, I believe, but his defense definitely is nowhere near that all-star level that it previously was. So there, of course, have been a bunch of reports going around that the Golden State Warriors are not only interested in trading Andrew Wiggins away, but they are interested in potentially a couple players around the league, one of them being Lauri Markkanen. Now, I am a huge fan of Markkanen, as I am a Cleveland Cavaliers fan. I got to watch Markkanen go from a massive liability on the Chicago Bulls to coming to the Cavs and putting up a pretty nice 14 points per game or so. I believe like 7 rebounds on decent efficiency. And then I got to watch him get traded to the Jazz, which hurt my feelings. It made me cry. And he ended up going off for 20 plus and making the All-Star game. As of now, the Utah Jazz are in a weird spot themselves. They need to desperately probably trade Clarkson. They probably need to trade Markkanen. They need to trade a couple other players, because right now they're in no man's land. They're realistically not bad enough to be bottom 4, but they're not really good enough to compete for the playoffs, so they just kind of remain in that bottom 5 to 10 spot, and it goes from there. The funny thing with the NBA is right now is there is a perfect opportunity for a couple teams, if they want to be really bad, as previously really bad teams have gotten a lot better. The Orlando Magic are in the playoff contention, and they were bottom 3 last year. The Houston Rockets are trying to be in playoff contention. They were bottom 3, I believe, last year. The San Antonio Spurs, I think, are only one season away from making maybe a pretty decent jump. And, of course, the Detroit Pistons, who, yeah, they haven't gone anywhere. So, look, to be the second or third worst team in the league, it probably doesn't strike me that isn't necessarily officially set in stone yet in the NBA, and I think a couple of teams are trying to be that. You look at teams who might be trying to be that. The Washington Wizards, I think, might try and trade a couple extra dudes to cement that. Charlotte maybe as well, they could, even resting LaMelo Ball from snapping his ankle off, and the Utah Jazz. So there is a mock trade going around right now that does actually send Lauri Markkanen and Luka Samanic to the Golden State Warriors in return for Andrew Wiggins, Trice J. Davis. I definitely absolutely messed up that pronunciation, my bad. and 4 first-round picks, 2 of them being pick swaps, which, again, when people say first-round picks and then pick swaps, for some reason, a lot of NBA fans just consider that being 4 first-round picks completely, when in reality, it's only 2. You still get to keep 2. It's just a pick swap so the other team can decide if they want your pick or, you know, however that might go, get a better leverage in the draft. So you do get to keep 2 first-round picks. You do get to, again, you will have to trade away 2 first-round picks, unfortunately, but it's not a total loss. And in my opinion, this is a really interesting trade for the Golden State Warriors for a lot of reasons. In my opinion, I don't think it's the perfect place for Markkanen to go. I think there are a lot of places Markkanen could absolutely shine in. I still believe the Cavs should try for Markkanen. I think he would be awesome back on the Cavs, but they don't really have the capital to make this happen. There's a couple other teams. Sacramento are a big one who, if they really want to compete for a championship, Fox, Markkanen, and Sabonis, that is a big 3 without having to pay them like a big 3, because Markkanen is still only on $18 million for the next season, which is just crazy to me to think. But if you're the Golden State Warriors, you can't do a whole lot of wrong with this. I believe with how they play, he's probably still going to average around 20 a game. The thing is, he fits in with their efficiency and how they like to, you know, shoot threes. And realistically, he can probably play a small ball type of lineup for them. Now, I don't really think you can play him at center. Markkanen is not that good of a defender. He can be good, but definitely not at the center position. Again, he's a power forward, small forward defender. Again, the Cavs kind of taught him how to guard small forward because he previously couldn't do that. And on the Jazz, he realistically has been their small forward for the most part. So again, shout out Cleveland for making that change. That was really good. But if you're the Golden State Warriors, they love to run positionless basketball, and if you have him on the court at the same time as Draymond, they can both probably switch from playing center and power forward, and you could still have a very nice death ball, small ball lineup of Chris Paul, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Markkanen, and Draymond. Again, you remove Wiggins, whose defense isn't even there right now, and you're basically adding an extra 6 points per game. That's a lot more efficient than what I believe Andrew Wiggins is putting up right now. Plus, you're going to get a lot more rebounds. You're going to be bigger on the boards. And he probably doesn't necessarily, you're not really losing that much speed as well. So I still believe this trade could work. And if the Utah Jazz want to do this, this makes sense as well. You give up a guy who, look, I still believe would want to come back to them. Thing is, you would have to sign him on a supermax deal in a couple years that will probably hurt your team a little bit because you're trying to rebuild. You're trying to be one of the worst teams in the league. You don't want a younger all-star guy on your team just wasting his talent away, who's getting you wins that you don't want. But then in saying that, you bring in Andrew Wiggins and you bring in a guy who is in the dumps right now, but over time could maybe progress into being that near all-star talent again, giving you that defense that you probably need, and still being a nice scorer. You're still bringing in a semi-all-star level player in, who maybe after this season could pick it back up. You're also bringing in a ton of first-round picks, which do inevitably help your cause, and it's just a nice, well-rounded trade for both teams. So will this happen? Very possibly, but I still believe a team like the Sacramento Kings might go out there and even try harder for Lauri Markkanen. It's just, you gotta think, what trade do you want better? Do you want Andrew Wiggins, who you think can be an all-star again? Or do you want, you know, and the 2 first-round picks and 2 pick swaps? Or do you want to go to the Sacramento Kings and be like, we want Harrison Barnes, we want 4 first-round picks, only one of them being a pick swap though, and we want one of your younger players. Now, who they go after, I'm not exactly too sure. There are players on the Sacramento Kings who could fit the mold. Davion Mitchell is only 25 and he was a former pick number 9 a couple years ago. Elite defender who's looking for a ton more opportunity. You could realistically try and do that trade. I think it just, again, it's up to the person. Is Mitchell, Barnes, and 4 first-round picks, better than Wiggins and 4 first-round picks, but 2 of them are pick swaps, you know what I mean? It really does make you wonder, but if you're the Kings, God, you'd want to do that deal. That team, like having the rotation of Fox, Monk, Herter, Keegan Murray, Markkanen, Sabonis, that's probably one of the best 6-man rotations in the league, plus guys off the bench, like Trey Lyles, this and that. Yeah, it's a really good team, and it makes you wonder, but this Golden State Warriors offer could be pretty good as well. But of course, if you haven't already, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Comment your thoughts and opinions on this down below. Do you guys think the Golden State Warriors should potentially do this trade, or do you guys think they shouldn't? I'd very much like to know. Subscribe to my gaming channel and my IRL/flowing channels. Links for them will be in the description down below. But as I was saying, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.